Hello! Today I'm gonna do some reviews because it's Reviews Day Tuesday. So today I'm gonna be reviewing two classics that I read in the last month, and they are Cider with Rosie and Black Beauty. And I felt like I should read these, and I did, and I really enjoyed both of them. Cider with Rosie more. I'm gonna start with Black Beauty because I liked it less, but I still really liked it, so this is a really nice copy. You can see that it's the Penguin thread version, which I love it. It's one of my favorite types of book cover. So Black Beauty was about a horse. It was written from the perspective of a horse. Now Black Beauty is the protagonist, obviously, and he moves from house to house and finds other horses and meets people, and he's working every day of his life. He starts off with a rich family, and then he moves to another house and he gets worked hard and understands the trials of life. And I think that it makes you connect more with the animals as if they were human, because he's been given a personality and he's been given the same sort of soul and feelings that we consider ourselves to have and kind of ignore when it comes to animals, especially working animals. He wishes that his owners would sometimes treat him better, or he really connects with his owners and he loves them and he cherishes them as if they were his family, and he's sad when he has to move to a new house. And I feel like this is an important book by any stretch. It should be a book that is read by most generations because it just gives you a much more broad view of how animals actually react and feel, as if they had the same mindset as us and they had the same thought processing. And I think that's important because obviously animals are a huge part of our lives, especially working animals and animals that are bred for certain purposes, and that we should consider them with the same amount of respect and the same careness and love that you would give a family member. So yeah, it was definitely a good book, and I recommend that you go out and read it right now. It also seems to be a book that people consider a children's book because it's about animals. It's a bit like Babe as a film. Like, people consider it's a kid's film because it's about animals, and I want to read about more, but it's more than just a book about an animal. And maybe the book itself has fallen into the same context as the animals that are within it. So we consider it not important because it's about animals, much like we consider them not important because they are animals. Metaphor. Cider with Rosie by Laura Lee. It's a biography and it's really cool. I love it. It smells good too. And it's written in such a poetic way, even though it's from the view of a child, and I think that's really interesting because I always consider children to have a much broader and more creative outlook, even if they don't have the words to express that. And he remembers things like his next door neighbor made wine, or the dog down the road, or the man who died and was discovered, and they're the things that he remembers. He doesn't really describe faces or places or people or where he is or what's going on, because he's a child and all that matters is the tiny world that he's surrounded by. And I really think that's an important point of view, it's an important perspective, because that he doesn't have any view of the outside world, he becomes very sheltered. And if a man finds 2 dead bodies, even if he didn't kill those people, he's still outcast. And he considers that just normal. That's normal. Dead bodies turning up, people discovering them. Oh, don't go near him, he might have killed people. Totally normal. There's no grief. It's the childish perspective that, oh, that's bad, but who cares, I'm gonna go play in the woods. And that is the weirdest perspective in the world when you're reading it as an adult, but understanding that yes, that's probably the view you would have had as a child, and bad things did happen when you were a kid, but did you care? No, you had better things to do that were more entertaining than worrying about other people's problems. And I think that is the perspective that the book gives you, and it's really interesting to read about, and it's just weird and wonderful, and I loved it. And yeah, it also explores the issues within society and schooling and the sort of work ethic of this sort of sheltered person who obviously they just grew up in the country and never left, and that's fine because that's how their society runs, but it's a very closed-minded outlook, and it's weird to see it from that point of view, but it's definitely a good read. So another definite recommendation. So yeah, that was my Reviews Day Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week I'll probably be doing recipes, but who knows, because I'm not really sure anymore. This has been my Reviews Day Tuesday. I will see you next week.